Hey guys, this is Jay and I'm with a Blender video on how to draw with Python into the viewport and snap the vertices that you draw onto a face of a mesh. I added this to my experimental GPU drawing add-on, so let's see it in action. I press Ctrl and F to activate it and then I draw lines onto this object, and as you can see they are snapped to the face. When you press the Enter key, a mesh is created for these vertices. The first point that you draw has to hit a face of a mesh, but after that you can add points onto the plane that is defined by the first point and the normal of the face that you hit. So what you can do then is to draw on a kind of infinite plane. Okay, so let's have a look at the implementation that is done in a modal operator. So go to the modal method first, in which you can check for keyboard and mouse events. The operator has a list of vertices, and when the left mouse button is pressed, we check if there are already vertices added to this list. If the list is empty, I call the method getMouse3D_onMesh, and otherwise the method getMouse3D_onPlane. The returned vertex I add to the list of vertices and call the method createBadge that creates a 3D uniform color shader and a badge of lines to draw. But how to use GPU shaders I already explained in a previous tutorial. I added the link to the description. What I want to explain here is how to map a 2D mouse point to the face of an object, so let's have a look at the method getMouse3D_onMesh first. In this method I call another one named getOrigin and Direction. Here I use the function region2D to origin3D to convert the mouse coordinates to a 3D position, and then we get the direction of the viewport camera with the function region2D to vector3D. With these two parameters we can do a raycast with a BVH tree object that can be used for proximity searches and raycasts on geometry. I will use this to get the hit point and the direction of the object's face that we hit with the mouse cursor. But before we can do this, we have to get such a BVH tree for the object that we want to hit, which is in our case the active object. I get the BVH tree for the active object in the invoke method of the operator and store it in a member variable. In the method BVH tree from object, I get the mesh from the object, initialize a bmesh with it and convert the bmesh to world space. This transformation has to be done to be able to use the origin and direction for the raycast of the BVH tree, which are also in world space, not in local space. Okay, and now we can do a raycast, which returns a hit vertex and the direction of the face that we hit. To draw with a slight offset onto the face, I added a value that is defined by the member variable offset in the direction of the returned normal. Here you can see it, the default value is 0.01. When I increase it to 0.2 for example, you can see here in the viewport that the offset is larger. Okay, this was the method to add the first vertex onto a face of a mesh, but when we have already added vertices to the list, I use the function intersectLinePlane to get the next vertex on the plane that is defined by the origin and the direction of the face that we hit. For this I want to say thanks a lot to my friend Jacques Lucke, who pointed me here to the right direction. The first two parameters for the intersectLinePlane function are 2 points on the line that is going to intersect your plane. The first one is the origin, which is definitely on the line, and as the second one you can use the origin and translate it in the direction of the line. To define the infinite plane, you need a point on this plane, which is the hit point, and the direction of this plane, which is the normal vector that is also returned by the raycast function. And that's it. I know it is not that easy. The last thing that I want to show you is how to draw line loops and not line strips. To do this you could change this parameter of the badge for shader function, and with that you are able to draw line loops onto the mesh. Alright, where to go from here? Of course I will add this feature to my FastCarve add-on so that you can draw primitives that are snapped to the mesh, then extrude a shape and execute Boolean operations. So stay tuned, I have to code this, it will be a huge refactoring, but still I don't think it takes too long. If you want to support the development, consider being my patron, this would really help a lot. And if you like my videos and my channel, then don't forget to subscribe. Add your questions or ideas to the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.